Hi, thanks for tuning in to my official YouTube channel. I'm Reverend MeeLing. Been known by a few names: Reverend MeeLing, Reverend Susan MeeLing, Lady MeeLing, Lady Dori, Belle, so on and so forth. So I am on my way to drop off that particular Medal of Honor artwork piece. It's the second biggest Medal of Honor art project piece that I've made. And so I was in the process of completing one particular YouTube official channel thing, and I went on a tirade, and so I just had to start over and redo, so that way it's more organized. So I wanna speak to college students, to be specific. Like okay, if your mommy and daddy told you about how special you are, cool. I don't know what that's like. I've told people this before. I have no idea what it's like to be told on a daily basis how great and you know, all that in person and stuff like that. But let me educate you on something. Just because your mommy and daddy told you that, or whoever it is in your life told you that, hey, again, fantastic. Don't let that go to your head, because you know what? The rest of the world is not necessarily going to look at you and be like, you know what? Your mommy and daddy said that you're great and special. Cool. Like, we're going to look at you the exact same way. No. No. Just because your mommy and daddy told you how wonderful you are, which, yes, you could be in whatever capacity. However, that does not mean that the rest of the world has to look at you in the exact same way. And by the way, this is something that I told people in New Jersey as well as Illinois, but especially in New Jersey. Just because your mommy and daddy are whoever your mommy and daddy are, that does not mean that you are your mommy or your daddy. Just so that you know, your mom, your dad, the people that they know, that is what they did. That's not what you did. That's what your mom did. That's what your dad did. That's what your aunt did, your uncle did, your grandma did, your grandpa did, whoever. You didn't do it, so do not take credit for what you didn't do. I have met so many college students that think that just because they're in college, that means that there's something special. Let me tell you, there are plenty of people who did not go to college that have achieved far more in their lifetime than you have just because you got into college. If you do not like the fact that just because you got into college, not everybody is gonna kiss your feet, well, guess what? You have to earn it. And just as another point, again, do not teach other people through, you know, your little on that, because you got raised however you got. Well, you know what? Not everybody was as lucky as you, but that still does not mean that you are a special snowflake. What that means is, hey, you were lucky enough to have a mommy and daddy who gave a damn enough about you. Don't be rubbing that into everybody else's face. You want to complain about, oh, you've been triggered in your feelings. What about the people who don't have that? How about them, huh? I mean, you know what? I'm going to go and turn that around. All of the little whiny college students that were like, oh, you know, your words. You know what? The fact that you bring about how much your mommy and daddy care about you, that triggers my anger. So what you got, huh? What you got? Because your mommy and your daddy are not going to, they're not going to protect you from me. There are plenty of individuals who have learned that one. And since I am driving through the city of Austin, Texas, you best believe that there have been plenty of people who have been educated on that. And there are plenty of people who have seen that in person, have watched me just absolutely devour those souls in front of so many people. And it wasn't even a blink of an eye to me. So let me tell you, you college students, You want to go and do whatever you want to do? Hey, fine. But just remember that there are people who have done far more by 8:16 in the morning than you have done in your entire lifetime. So just because your mommy and your daddy and whoever in whatever has told you that you're some special snowflake just because you breathe, well, guess what? You're not the only person who takes a breath every day. Not the only one. And if you are offended and got triggered by that reality, I tell you to ask someone to see if you think I care, but I'll just answer that for you. I don't. And since I'm a dominant sadist, please do post yourself crying. Go complain. Go complain. Go do your thing where you cry about how upset you are. I don't care. Because you know what? I'm not the only person who has had experiences in reference to whiny little brats that think that, oh, all their life they have been told how special they are, and just because of that, you think that you actually are special. You know what? You are special. You're a special snowflake that melts the second the heat gets turned up. And that is just so special. Probably not the way you were told you were special, though. But, hey, it's still special, right? So, I'm gonna go drop off my Medal of Honor art project of the second biggest artwork piece that I completed by myself. And that guy, just like every other Medal of Honor recipient, is a badass. Unlike you who want to claim that just because your mommy and daddy told you you're special. Those guys, and guys like that, deserve that because they actually earned that. Not just because they're breathing. Oh, you got dressed today. Yay, let's get you a participation trophy because you learned how to put your clothes on and you're in college. Yay. I can't. I just can't. I just... Yeah. Your mommy and daddy did what your mommy and daddy did. Not you. Just because you have that, hey, cool. Don't abuse it, though. There are plenty of people that just don't have the patience for that sort of stuff. I am one of those people. I know there are plenty of people who do not have the patience for that sort of stuff at all whatsoever. And another thing, be more respectful to law enforcement. Be more respectful to fire department. Be more respectful to emergency medical services. And damn sure be more respectful to military guys. Which, by the way, there are a lot of individuals who are law enforcement, fire department, and emergency medical services that have a military background. Just so that you know. I had a bunch of college students tell me that I didn't know what it was like to go through education in a higher way. And if I did actually do that, you know, I would understand their plights and how difficult their existences were. Now, mind you, okay, I didn't technically do the higher education because, you know, scuba diving goes down. But I did put myself, while being a single mom of 2 children, through 26 individual scuba certification courses on my own between February 2009 through to November 2009. How many college classes do you take in a semester? While being a single mom, by the way. And taking care of my house. And taking care of my friends. As best as I could, where I could. And I still volunteered and helped where I could. I still, same person, but for all of those college students that I knew at the time that I knew them, that wanted to go and throw their little temper tantrums, little whiny garbage about how difficult their college courses were. I know I didn't bring that up back then because, you know, there was other stuff that I was dealing with that was far more important. But do take that into consideration now. Take that into consideration. All of you that I wound up dealing with tried to, oh, college is so hard because, like, my professor makes me, like, take a test, you know, because I, you know, enrolled in college that you didn't have to enroll into. And, you know, oh, my professor is so mean because he actually, or she, she's gonna make me do my homework, and if I don't do my homework, then, you know, then I'm not considered a special snowflake anymore. Well, you know what, then do your damn homework. Nobody forced you to go to college. Don't bother the dean and the board of education for your school that you didn't have to go to college. Nobody forced you to go to college. You filled out your own application forms. You sent in whatever you said. How much paperwork does it take to get into college? Probably a whole bunch. So you had to do that? I heard people complain back then. It's so difficult. Nobody forced you into college. Don't go. My teacher is so mean because I have to do my homework. Well, how about you just do your homework and then prove your teacher that you're, like, a worthwhile human being? And then those same individuals, again, just because you got into college, but then you want to complain about the work that it takes to be in college. You know what? Here's a thought for you to think about. Do you think that your professors who teach you in college were ever in college before? Probably. So, you know, maybe, just maybe, hypothetically speaking, you know, maybe that's why they don't have sympathy for you. I'm just saying. When it comes to the United States of America's armed forces, if you don't pull your own weight, you don't get to continue. So maybe you should take that into consideration. And maybe even the college boards should take that into consideration. If there is not a legitimate reason as to, you know, like, for example, if somebody in their family is legitimately sick and they legitimately need the help and assistance, then yes, that is a section where you take into consideration some leniency. But as far as, oh, well, my friend is going to go here and I want to go where my friend is going and blah, 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 so, like, you need to give me leniency because, like, my friend and so... No, nobody forced you to be in college. I think that colleges should really consider just, you know what? I mean, think about it this way. This is the way I got. When scuba diver instructors teach their classes, the scuba instructors want to make sure that whoever they teach, at least a good school will care about that, is a good diver. That they don't, you know, mess up things, that they are capable divers, because they don't want to put their name as somebody's instructor that, you know, is a bad diver. They want to be able to be like, yeah, I taught that person and, you know, got them to be able to pay attention here, pay attention there. Maybe colleges should be looking at stuff like that. Like, do you really want to have whoever, as far as whatever graduation with that? Because, you know, you have to issue the diplomas and stuff like that. So, do you really want certain individuals? Maybe that should be taken into consideration. Do you really, truthfully want to put some of those college students' names on your registrar? Maybe that should be reevaluated. You know, the ones that actually do the work and actually, you know, should be the ones that, you know, go forward and stuff like that. Maybe certain things in the education, and I mean, obviously, I am not able to get into college, so I really, then again, if I can get into college right now with as bad as my math is, because there was a time in 2001 and 2002, I applied to a whole bunch of colleges in San Antonio, Texas, and each and every one of my aptitude placement tests, all of the colleges said that they did not have anything remedial enough to assist me to be able to be in their college. I have said this before, I'll say it again. If I can get into college, the education system needs to be revamped. I should not be able to get into college. With my math, I definitely should not be able to get into college.
Just saying.
However, you know, it shouldn't go off of what somebody looks like. It should completely go off of their merits. Shouldn't be because of somebody's last name or what's after their parents' last name. It should be on their own merits. And while I am not, you know, again, I am not a professor, I haven't got I don't deny, but maybe, just maybe, there wouldn't be certain things that are going on with certain individuals. I was just saying. But yes, I still don't have patience for a whole bunch of that whining and crying and temper tantrum garbage, and no. Nope. Your mommy and daddy raised you. Learn. And if you like what your mommy and daddy did, then, like, better yourself so that way you could actually do that. But I'm going to end this particular YouTube official broadcast of mine right now. So, thank you for tuning in. Comment, like, share, and subscribe to my official YouTube channel. And you college students, whether you are a former college student, a current college student, or a future college student, think about that. You should actually, and I know there are plenty who are smart enough to know that, but you should really think about that. And with the social media stuff and all that, you should really think about that. So, you guys have a